God's total investment in the creation. 14. When God created heaven and earth, why did He create human beings? As long as God was without a partner, He had no stimulation. He made human beings as His partners, who would allow Him to feel love, life and hope. God did not create human beings as the Bible seems to imply, simply by saying, "Let there be you." In reality, God put all His life, love and hope on the line to create human beings. We can say in short that God invested everything into the relationship between Himself and human beings. His was an unconditional, total investment. This reveals to us that God's intention is to realize true love. For love, He invested in His counterparts 100%. The process of God investing Himself requires Him to deplete His energy, but because He invests everything totally, the outcome is not depletion. When He invests 100% and completes His work, the counterparts into whom He invested 100%, after they perfect themselves 100%, return to God and infuse their love into Him. They emerge with everything God invested in them coalesced together with their own power of love, their value, and their honor as His partners. Possessing all of this, they stimulate God, and God can finally feel joy. 15. Parents instinctively invest everything for their children. God is the same. God does not invest Himself for His own sake. He exists not for Himself but for His counterparts. If God were to exist only for Himself, He would not be the God of true love. Love, life and hope are realized when parents sacrifice themselves completely for their children with the desire to be together with them. Accordingly, the true God of true love, true life and true hope wishes to give His true love, true life and true hope to human beings. He gives these things not to please Himself, but to please those who receive them. 16. In creating His partners, the true God completely invested Himself to fashion them into the most valuable, ideal and perfect form. This means that once He created Adam and Eve, God lived for their sake, not His own. God moved from the time of living for His own sake to the time of living for the sake of His partners. An ideal being does not live for his or her own sake. An ideal being lives for the sake of others, for the sake of the object partner. This is the core principle of the universe. 17. The Bible gives the impression that since God is omniscient and omnipotent, He brought everything into being by merely saying, "Let there be heaven and let there be earth." But this is not the case. God invested everything, all the energy He had. By investing the full power of His love, He created all things as offerings and gifts for His beloved sons and daughters who are to come, His beloved future family. 18. Creation entails the investment of energy. Every artist in the world desires to create the greatest of masterpieces. He or she invests everything, spirit, heart and soul, with the utmost devotion. It is not partial investment, but total investment that gives birth to the perfect masterpiece. Perfection finally comes when the created object needs nothing more. Can you fully love an object of hope that you made while withholding something of yourself, withholding your flesh and blood? It is only when you have given everything, your bones, your flesh, your ideas and everything you possess, that you can bond with what you have created as the object of your hope. That is why I am saying that the beginning of the process of creation itself could have been possible only through investment. There has to be the investment of energy. Nothing can be made without the investment of energy. Committed to the principle that a perfect object partner is created from an infusion of all one's energy, God invested everything He had as the subject partner in order to create His object partner. God's work of creation was the beginning of His movement toward the state of existing not for Himself, but for His object partner. 19. In order to create all things, God had to pour out His very essence. That is, He invested a great deal of energy. This could have depleted His energy and resulted in God suffering a loss. Yet He created the world with love, to be His object partner, and He devoted Himself to fulfilling this purpose. His investment was not to bear fruit in Himself but rather in His partner. Since God created with love, even though He fully invested Himself, He did not feel diminished. Rather, He felt satisfied. This became a principle, and this essence of parental love became the tradition. God's total self-investment meant that he was not conscious of himself as he worked. He was so immersed in pursuing the purpose of his partner that he completely forgot himself. In the end, God wants to live for the sake of the human beings whom he created. This is the basic principle of creation. 20. In the world of physics, the input is greater than the output. But in the world of love, the input is less than the output. Because this principle applies on the horizontal plane, the universe exists forever. Consumption depletes everything. But because of its constant motion, the energy of love that is invested without limit is not consumed or depleted, rather it is expended. Thus, God's existence is perpetuated based on love. The universe maintains its existence eternally through this continuous circular motion. Therefore, from the family to the tribe, from the tribe to the nation, and from the nation to the world, everything expends on the same basis and with the same value. Thus all people in the universe will be in agreement, like unto a single human brain, and we will be able to build the ideal world, the realm of total oneness in unity and peace.